Carpicaster. That white box or rectangle that you see on the left-hand side of the screen is actually the grate on top of the drain. That grate keeps large debris from going down and clogging the drain. And that is a beaver swimming back from having deposited debris onto the grate to help clog it up, which will raise the level of the lake higher than it needs to be, potentially to unsafe levels. Now that beaver's out there at about 155 to 170 yards. We're getting video through a RIX Sleep L6 thermal weapon sight. That's not what I'm going to be shooting with tonight, however. Upstream, just north of where I am, is the Beaver's Dam. And it's a pretty good sized one, backing up the feeding channel into the lake as well. So the dam is back behind the dead cedar tree. We're going to pan forward out across the lake. The water level is up here. And then there's the core dam in the distance, and tonight I'm going to be hunting with a RIX Tour T20 digital night vision scope, and it's mounted on a TX15 multi-purpose carbine enhanced from Lone Star Armory and 6.5 Grendel. I'm going to be shooting some Northern Precision Spitzer RBT bullets loaded by Druid Hill Armory and the Starline Brass.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
And I'll be moving to the far end of the lake down where the sun is setting. And here I am, and that is that beaver swimming right by just a few yards in front of me. So he's gone subsurface. I'm looking for him, and it's still daylight at this point, so I'm just using my naked eyes. There he is. So this beaver is awfully close, and I should be worrying about holdover on this shot. But he's going to turn and give me a lengthwise body that's going to give me a lot of area to work with. And I aimed at the back of the head, and that hit him in the back of the neck, so that worked out perfectly. Beaver down in the water. Very nice. I saw a lot of this as well. Beaver's coming out. A little alarm splash, and he disappears on me. And at this point, I'm still up by where we killed the first beaver. And this one's going to come in really close, and I did not worry about holdover, which was completely wrong. I'm going to put the pipper right on the nose, and I have a feeling this shot is going to be exactly underneath the beaver, completely miss it, probably scared the heck out of it. Alright, and this will be about an inch low. Here we go. There's no body, so we can't count that one. And here I've moved back to where I shot the original video panning over the lake, and I'm actually standing out on a little dock extended out into the water, and I've got a beaver coming in from the far end from where I was standing previously. Nothing else out in the water. Get zoomed in a little bit. This will be a nice down the throat shot as he's coming towards me. Perfect shot, got a body. Curly shuffle, and he is done. I thought this was fun. This is the last frame before the shot broke. Here's the bullet just leaving the barrel, streaking on towards the beaver, and contact. Now this will be one last video for my landowner. This is a beaver that I followed around the dam twice, trying to move in position. He always stayed far enough away that I didn't or wasn't able to take what I thought would be a good shot. So there's the previous body. There's my swimmer out in the distance, and I will have to come back for him later. Carpe Seuss. I've got a hog out there in the distance. I'm at a cross fence with too many strands of wire and too tight for me to go through, and the gates are about 200 yards in one direction and 250 in the other direction. So I'm going to be shooting from here. Now I'm in no hurry at this point because the wind is in my favor, and I'm trying to use my new laser rangefinder on my RIX Sleep L6. And I set it up earlier in the day, and I thought I had it aligned with the crosshairs, and actually I have it aligned a little bit too low. And so the information that it's given me is from a shorter distance, and it appears that the hog isn't as far away as it actually is. And here you can tell the distance is wrong by how long it takes for the sound of the impact to come back. Well, I got my bore down, and on my next range session I did make the adjustment to the LRF so that it was aimed at the center of my crosshairs. And my boar down turned out to be a nice 180-pound boar. Now this next hunt was a RIX hunt where I was doing some field testing for them, looking at some different firmware features that they want to introduce. And so I've got this 175-pound boar down, but no video at this time. Carpe Cane and Spin and I are back out the next night, and we've got 2 coyotes in the distance, and the coyote there on the left appears to be eating on the hog that I shot the night before. And as you can hear, it is quite windy. The winds are from left to right, so that's not going to be a problem. But lip squeaking and such just isn't going to work in this wind. For this evening, Ben's going to be shooting his .30 Remington AR. It's got a Hooper Femur suppressor on it, and 125 grain SST Hornady bullets. And of course he's using the Storm S3 thermal weapon sight. We didn't even think about going after these coyotes until one of them decided to go ahead and just bed on down right there in place. So while we're making the stalk on the coyotes, I want to talk about Ben's setup. Ben is actually running an external battery unit on his Storm S3. You can run external battery units on Leaps and Storms. You just hook them up with a USB cable, plug them into the scope, and you're good to go for as much power as you want to have for that night or for several nights. We have now moved into shooting distance, and my video is not on because I'm going to be using recoil activated video. It's a feature of the RIX optics. And so when I shoot, the recoil is going to capture the first few seconds of video before the shot, and then about 15 or 20 seconds thereafter. I'm not sure the exact amount of time.
3,
Here we go.
2.
Both coyotes are hit, both dance in place a little bit. Quick following shot.
Yep. Safe.
And we both move rifles out of the way so as not to cover the cattle.
Recording off.
And I'm just letting the RIX sleep run until it runs out of the RAV recording. Ben's coyote was the larger female, and mine was a smaller male. And on the way home, Ben tagged his first deer of the year. The next night, I'm at another small lake. This one is shrunken down quite a bit due to the drought and has not refilled. I've got one beaver out there in the distance, and it's actually not that far. I'm trying a couple different IR illuminators that I had in my cabinet to see what would work, and this one is not working out well for me, not well enough. But I do have a beaver that I can shoot. And we've got a good body, and for my last hunt of the week, that's a beaver down. Carpe sus, my friends.